All right, perfect. We are live. So cool. Thank you guys for joining us. Today I have Jonathan. We started working together at the beginning of May.
Yeah, pretty much because it was last week of April. No, actually April.
Yeah, I was thinking like towards the end of April.
Yeah.
And yeah, just wanted to share his story. He's gone through a lot of different changes in the last, what is that now? 8, almost 12 weeks. And first question really for you is kind of just sharing your story, but like what's your name and what's your age? I mean, I kind of already gave your name away, but
no worries, brother. Yeah, I'm Jonathan. 30 actually. I just turned 30 July 4th, so hit that 30 club, man. Definitely feel it in my body, but now that I'm working with you, some of that oldness doesn't feel too old anymore.
Yeah, you're entering quite literally like a new stage, a new chapter in your life. You always hear like when you're in your 20s, like, oh, once you get to 30, you're gonna feel beat up and all this stuff, right?
And I think for me, it's gonna be the opposite, man. Was beat up, then I'm gonna be better in my 30s.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that. Like, where were you at even 6-12 months ago? Like, what was your fitness like? What did your health feel like?
Oh, okay. So, I mean, to be honest, I worked out since high school football season, brother. That was the last time I ever worked out. After that, it was just pretty much eating and eating and eating and eating, man. Fitness wise, I would never really, go work out, nothing. Maybe walks, but it wasn't even anything like, let's say, a mile. I would just be, get up, walk here, walk to go get my food, pretty much. That's what it was, But
yeah,
I wasn't really active at all. It was just pretty much staying in the couch. Even then, about 7 years ago, I had my first kid. I'm like, I'm gonna change, but really didn't change anything. My habits stayed the same, not working out. Then 2 years later, my next kid came, same thing, nothing changed. Up until, what was it? The second week of April, actually. It's funny because I had just came back from my homie's bachelor party.
mm-hmm.
And I went actually to the doctor for sleeping, for snoring, try to see like, oh, can they help me out? I'm snoring. My wife told me she was like, you're snoring too much at night. I'm like, all right, let me go check it out. Man, that day, it just pretty much woke me up. He told me a lot of things where he's like, okay, since you're here, we'll just do a physical.
Mm-hmm.
And physical, and man, that night got so many results. Everything was terrible, man. He's like, you're pre-diabetic, your cholesterol levels. He also told me with my liver, I had that, what is it called? Fatty liver?
Yeah.
But it was at a stage where he told me if I would have continued a month or two, I would have most likely lead to cirrhosis. That time, I didn't know what it was. So I looked it up. Oh, man, that was actually a really serious condition that eventually, had I gone down that path, probably could lead to, a liver transplant, I believe is what they say.
Yeah.
The doctor woke me up with this too. He told me, he's like, yeah, we put you on the list and there's no organ for you. You'll pretty much pass because.
Wow.
So
I didn't know he had to put you on the list to just double check just in case.
Yeah, he had told me, and I'm like, he's like, he's like, this is your choice. You're gonna go either down the right path, but no. Once he said that, I'm like, dude, I got 2 kids. At that time, 2 of my kids were born, and then my last one was just born a week and a half ago. So I was like, I can't leave those boys without a dad. So I was like, I gotta turn this completely around. So I had been knowing you for since 2020 when we were working together. 2020,
yeah.
And I'm like, I already knew you. You were into fitness, always eating good. We'd go out to eat, and I see, wow, look at he's eating good stuff. I'm over here eating a big ass burrito or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hit up my boy John, and let's get it started. And I think we said literally, I hit you up. We set up the meeting the next day, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think something you touched on that was solid, like really gold, was like pretty much it was like that moment for you was kind of like a fork in the road, and the doctor literally laid it out for you like these are your choices. And it painted kind of this grave picture, this really like not so great future for you, right? If you kept doing the things you were doing.
Exactly.
What were your energy? And I know you mentioned you went to him initially for sleep. Like, what was your sleep like during that time and your mood and all that stuff?
Oh, my mood, I was grumpy, 24/7, tired, exhausted. Every time I go to bed, next hour or two, I'd be waking up. Same thing, like every hour or two, I wake up. So I never really got 6 to 8 hours straight of sleep. Ever, man. I don't remember the last time that had that.
Yeah.
Up until I started eating better, my habits changed. He put me. He ended up telling me that I had sleep apnea,
Right.
and prescribed what is it called? One of those CPAP machines.
Mm-hmm.
But I used it for a few weeks, and it helped me out. Like for the first time, I was actually sleeping. The first night, I slept like 9 hours straight, and I'm like, man, really
Yeah.
good. But I think over the past week or two, I haven't used it, but I've still been able to sleep. Well, before my newborn was born,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I was able to sleep continuous.
Yeah.
So definitely huge improvements of before, man, because it's a completely 180.
Yeah.
Really negative. I would just say I was moody all the time because I never
Mhm.
really, and it sucked because sometimes I would take it on my kids, like they just wanted to play, and I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, stop bugging me, kind of. And I thought, I went back and I'm like, I feel bad. I'm like, they just want to play. That's it. But nowadays it's like completely different. They want to play. Let's go. Sometimes now they're the ones saying, "Now I'm tired. I don't want to go play today." But I'm like, go. So it feels honestly really good to kind of honestly feel like a brand new person now, and I'm not even at the place where I want to be
Yeah.
at. Just say probably this is the midpoint. So
Exactly.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine the going forward.
It's funny how the script kind of flipped on them, and you're the one now, like, hey, let's play, like, let's go do this, and they're like, no, we're tired. That's fine.
Exactly. So I'm like, but they just say that, and then like literally 20 seconds later, all right, let's go. Oh, they're going with.
That's awesome still though. I'm happy to hear that. Um I think what was I going to mention? Oh, I remembered. So yeah, I think one thing that you kind of also touched on right now was like this is the halfway point. And my philosophy, I always say like the goal is never to just like win once, but how to stay in the game and keep playing and keep up with making this a sustainable thing, right? Like that you can keep doing for the rest of your life, and it doesn't feel like you're punishing yourself. It's not like I can't do this or that. It's like you can live your life and also do this as a supplement, right? So make your quality of life a lot better.
And it definitely has improved, man. Feel more energized, happy. I feel good, look good.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
compared to telling you back in April, man, I look at pictures and I'm just like, what the hell? How did I let myself get
Yeah.
that bad?
What I know you mentioned with 7 years ago and then 2 years after that, with both your other kids being born, what did you do during those times when you said I'm gonna change, but then nothing really ended up changing? Like what did those first couple weeks look like?
Well, I would try, like eating good, eating a little bit better, I'll be like, I would try to go work out, but I'm like, a week after this, I'm like, I forget this, it's just too much. I don't have the energy or the time. I would use that excuse. I don't have the time for it,
Yeah.
a lot. But I would try eating, and then literally the next day I'll just go back to the same. I'm like, oh well, this looks good. This looks good. Let's eat it. And I think for me, like, I never realized it because you see yourself in the mirror every day, right? So you never see yourself
Mhm.
gaining weight. So that was my thing. I'm like, you're not gaining anything, but obviously, slowly and slowly, I feel like, hey, my clothes isn't fitting anymore. Like
Yeah.
what's going on? But it's just I never got into the after like a week, I would just quit. I'm like, this is
Mm,
man, I'll be okay. Nothing has happened, you know, to me now, so well, it won't happen to me later.
mm,
So it was just pretty much giving up on myself.
okay.
I just like I don't got it in me. So
Yeah. How has your mentality shifted now from what that used to be like to what you're doing now and the train of thoughts you're having now instead?
I think it was I'm not sure exactly how long ago. It was something you said that yourself in the mirror and tell them that's not you anymore. I'm a new me. And
Yeah.
that mentality stuck with me. I'm like, you know what? He's right. In the mirror, I could see myself still as that big fat person, unhealthy, tired, whatever. But in reality, that's not me. So even with that, once you had told me that, I even I don't know if I told, yeah, I think I told you that I started swimming, learning how to swim, man, because I don't know
Yeah.
how. And I never I always was scared of it, but with that different mentality, I was like, I can do it. What's stopping me from doing it? If I can do this, then I can do that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I think you had mentioned, I think before it was something that you wouldn't even really dare think about trying. It was just kind of like, nah, I'm good kind
No,
of thing, right?
I was just like, nope, it's not happening. And this time I just signed myself up and said, I'm going to be able to do it. And I'm doing it, man.
That's
So,
awesome. I'm happy to hear that, man. Um, what was your biggest concern before starting with me?
what was that? I'm sorry.
What was your biggest concern before starting with me and kind of the program?
Honestly, uh, being able to keep it up, bro. I think I
Mm,
was like, I've tried it before, you know, what's different now? Am I
yeah.
gonna be continue it? Um, and more of a, am I gonna be successful? Like, am I gonna be able to keep this up and actually change, or am I just, in a sense, gonna go back to that route that, hey, you can't do it. Oh well, here you go. I still pay you whatever's, but I ain't gonna do nothing.
Mm,
But after starting with you and how you slowly, you didn't do it like right off the back. You actually, slowly building different steps.
yeah.
You know what? I'm actually going to be able to do this. So uh, it's good. And the crazy part about all this still is I have yet to step foot in the gym. So
Yeah.
this is more of you helping me with my eating habits a lot, and at home exercises,
Yeah.
which I didn't think was possible, but hey, that's definitely
You're living proof of it now.
exactly, bro.
That's yeah, something I want to highlight is like you mentioned, like it was one of those things like, yeah, you're investing in yourself, you're paying me, but you still had that fear, like, okay, I even though I'm like giving this money up, it doesn't mean, or you felt at least at the time, like I still might not be successful. When did that shifted for you? Was it like at week one, at week three? Like when were you like, wow, this actually is like, this is something I can do?
I think going into after the second week, that's when
Mm,
know what, I'm not feeling I'm not feeling how do you say it, hungry,
Yeah.
Feeling like I started feeling much different because and I'm like, you know what, I can actually do this. What he's giving me and the stuff he's providing for me, the tips and the habits and all that, it's actually not that hard to do. So I doing it, I'm like, wow, this is actually easy. It's not, and my mood started changing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what, happy. I'm like, I can accomplish this. So it definitely opened my eyes after the beginning of that third week. Like, this is the greatest investment that I've done for my health and future. So
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Is is there anything you'd want to say to someone that might be on the fence about reaching out for help? Maybe that is kind of in a similar position that you were in, or is maybe at a position where you would have been had you not gone forward with coaching?
I would say to just do it and reach out for help, because that person inside your head is always going to tell you, no, you can't do it. No, you
Yeah.
can't do it. Honestly, that mentality is tough because, I
Yeah.
was in that for a really long time. So, actually, you know, at that point that I was, and I'm like, like I said, I had already known you for a long time, and I know you did this too.
Yeah.
Is that meant that thing in my head saying you can't do it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother. But then I'm like, you know what? Going to that doctor's appointment, what he told me, and I'm like, I cannot leave my kids without a father, pretty much. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what am I doing? And then like you said, the first 2 weeks I was still getting them like, nah, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. But
Yeah.
you gotta think positive and just reach out for help when you need it, especially with somebody like you that knows what they're
Yeah.
doing, bro.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I think one thing is really that second person in your head that is telling you all the negative stuff, and how to combat that is like really, really hard. There's it never truly goes away, but you get better at beating that voice.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You're right. Because sometimes you'll be there and you're still like, just give up, man. Why are you gonna continue this? So, but I'm like, no. You got to make this a lifetime decision,
Yeah.
not temporarily, like you said. So it's thinking of this for the future. I mean, I'm like, hey, it's sustainable. I don't have to. And like, I remember a few weeks ago when I texted you and saying, "Hey man, can I have a cup of ice cream with my kids?" Like I was like, man, I can't eat this. So I'm like, you know what? Let me ask the guy. Like, and every here in a while, like you said, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not a day thing, a every week thing. So that little scoop of ice cream is not gonna kill me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I think everyone gets way too scared. Like once they go into like this diet or whatever it is that they're doing, it's like they start eliminating everything. And it's like, no, you don't need to. It's just how do we manage it at the
Mm.
same time as it's not one or the other. It's how do we do both?
Well,
So
and that, ever since you told me that, I'm like, there'll be times where you're like, oh, can we go get yogurt? And I'm like, okay. And also too, it's not like I'm getting a huge portion. So I've learned that, portion control. So,
mhm.
satisfy that craving or whatever that
Yeah.
you have, and you don't feel bad about it, or it doesn't mess up with your health. So that's one thing I learned with you, portion control, man. I really didn't
Yeah.
anything about that before, man. I just, hey, this burrito looks good. Hey, let's eat the whole thing.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're doing it guilt free too. It's
Not that.
your transformation has been awesome. I mean, you essentially went from, I think 245 was like at your peak, right?
Uh, when I went to the doctor, he told me 247, but
Okay.
that I think when we started the 2 days after that, somewhere with 245 it was at. So I
Yeah.
would say 250 pretty much.
Yeah. So it's been awesome to see your transformation, and I'm super happy to like keep progressing this, and you know knowing that we're not done yet, and we're gonna continue achieving these milestones, and there's a lot more that we can still do.
That's what I'm looking forward to, man. Because I'm like, man, let's see what I can really transform my body into with, better nutritioning and eventually stepping foot into a gym, which I have not done since 2010, brother.
Yeah. Don't worry. Like everything else, we're gonna do it in a way that sets you up for success. So
Exactly. So definitely, if anybody is thinking or on the verge, they should definitely do it with John because he's a really good coach, man. He knows what he's doing.
thank you. Appreciate it, man. All right, brother. Well, I will let you go for the rest of the day. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story with everybody.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. It's a busy time with the newborn, but
And
luckily we had fed him right before joining this, so he's knocked out right now. Relax.
yeah, I'll let you go get some sleep because I know you probably need at least to close your eyes for 10 minutes.
Just a little bit, bro. Just
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you hopping on. Have a good rest of your week.
You as well. Talk to you soon, man.
Thank you, man.